I think this generational divide is also very heavily reliant on the fact that us consuming the phone is now a big thing.
Knowledge has been so broad because of social media and the access that we have online. So we are able to pick up on things our parents picked up later on.
The digital space ndio imekuwa kama sa jamii whereby people learn these things. Like men learn like bavu unaekewa mae DM anaona haga anaona hizo body so this in the place imekam.
We are cognizant because of the knowledge that we have consumed. So that also plays a very big factor. That knowledge is so diverse right now in our age.
Our parents' generation, I think it was also in an age where the Western world began to have influence. Our parents thinking about this American dream, having now us, but you find they didn't spend maybe time with us. So I think the divide comes where we're now getting exposed to so much information and they're asking themselves, well, I didn't contribute to this guy having this information.
Ideally, it is not age. It is an examined assumption. Every generation believes my way is normal and they'll fight for that truth because they see no other way. The danger is not that we are different. The danger is we are not asking why we are different. Right now, it feels like all generations do not understand each other. But the question is why? Maybe it's not just plain, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. Because the other day I had a conversation with a counseling psychologist. And they told me something very interesting. They said that most of our jobs these days, she's called to companies to talk to both the older generation and the Gen Zs because they do not agree at all. Like it's an issue, it's a big issue, and she's being called to talk about such stuff. I'll actually call her also to speak more on it. And that's when it actually hit me. This thing is actually serious. Because also at home, there are such scenarios. I've conversed with a lot of people, and you can hear there's an issue there. There's no more trust, there's no more communication, there's no more, what you'd expect from a home. It's just plain, it's like roommates. And I thought to ask you guys, why do you think that is? Why do you think that problem exists right now? Is it something we're not looking at? Is it something we should consider? Is it something you've pointed out in your own place of work or people you've interacted with? What do you think is the issue? Why do you think there's a divide?
In my perspective,
Yeah.
the divide occurs because of the different environments, perceptions, cultural and value beliefs that were there in the different generations. So when you look at the older ones, the boomers, our great-grandparents, our grandparents, if you have some of them, the older people that are seated in institutions that you interact with.
Yeah.
And then we have the millennials, our parents or our aunts and uncles, and maybe some that taught us or something. And then now we have ourselves, the people that we are growing up with, the Gen Z. In all of them, we were at different historical, economical, political, socio-cultural climates for all of them. Different positions.
Yeah.
When we look at boomers, historically, they had the wars, right? So as you said, what would look stable for them? Stability, having a home, having things that are grounded, because they saw the world at a shaky place. And I think they inherited a traditional, as we would say, a traditional or a set way of life on how things would be like. When you look at the millennials, historically, where do they come from? That was the time during the Great Depression and things were falling apart economically. They were trying, technology was trying to evolve, was evolving at that particular time. So they were at a middle ground. When we come to the Gen Zs, we find maybe most probably our parents who are millennials, maybe most of them did not get a chance to understand themselves fully because they are trying to break away from the concept of boomers who were their parents. And then they parented us. They became our parents, us as Gen Z. And Gen Z, what did we find? shifting times. Things are shifting, things are growing fast for us. Technology has evolved, cultural norms have evolved with the different things that have been passed on, including policies and laws, or even just the perceptions of life, right? With a high rate of dysfunctional families, having a lot of divorces, single parents has become such a normal concept to us. Abortion has become a normal concept to us. Things that were deemed as taboo or not of value or weak or immoral have become a norm to us. I was reading an article yesterday, was it yesterday or today, on Subtrack on the title is what intrigued me. Sema mademu wa kamponi malaya. Nikaitap very fast, and he was describing the only source that most campus girls perceive in their minds they can get money to pay for their school fees and upkeep is by them selling their bodies. It becomes an exchange. I give you sex, you give me money. It has been normalized because either one, the parents don't provide, there is economic pressure, or the parents don't see it necessary. Wanalipa school fees, but then they don't give you upkeep. What keeps you in school? Your rent, your food, and what have you. So yeah, that's my perception of why there's conflict and tension between the three generations that we have now.
Actually, I like that because you've gone ahead to show the different things influencing our behavior and how we respond to things. And I agree, because sometimes what we fight for is how we were taught to see the world. So sometimes when somebody introduces something else to you, you'd fight it first, because zamani walikuwa nasemanga sisi hatufanyangi hivyo. And the unfortunate thing about that was people never asked why sisi hatufanyangi hivyo, ni mbaya, ni nzuri, ni nini. And one thing I can say is, and I know it's a tricky thing because it can be misinterpreted, is the more you think about life, it does not revolve about right or wrong. Because when we say right or wrong, what is right and wrong, it depends on somebody where they've come from, actually. You get? And that's why there's that conflict. You get? I don't know what you think, Donnell, about why you think there's a divide between like Gen Z, Gen X, boomers and millennials. Why do you think hawelewani? Wewe unaonaje from your perspective?
No. My point will I think I'll stress on the technology part. Immediately Mavo talked about technology. I was like, oh yeah, the mobile phone. I think for me, I'll go back to my environment and what I know. And from where I sit, I think I've seen how the phone has really tampered, or rather changed, how we interact with one another.
Yep.
Whether baby boomers, whether millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, Gen X.
Yeah.
So I think we will never stop relating as human beings.
Do you think then we have not allowed ourselves to evolve? Because evolution doesn't mean we have to leave our morals or our ways of life. It's just evolving in terms of how does this new way of seeing life affect us if we do not adjust? Or how can this thing be good or bad? Like, remember I was telling you, knowledge is good or bad depending on the perspective. And I give an example of somebody saw oxygen and thought, you know what, this can be used in hospitals. Another one saw oxygen and thought, this thing can blow up. But it's the same oxygen. Because the reason why I say that is because I had a conversation with another guy, older guy, Gen X actually. And he said, it's actually something I've told you before. He said, media is bad. Media is spoiling people's kids. Their minds, they can't think, they're like zombies, they're like what? I'm like, media is an amplifier. It only amplifies what exists, what has been hidden when there was no access to media for everyone. So like, we should before calling out something, we could question why and how does it affect us. For example, you've said, definitely one disadvantage of when the social media, the phones, the what came, it kind of affected communication and relationships. Yes. But what did it bring that's valuable? Is it our responsibility to balance, or is it the responsibility of the phones to balance for us? You see, that's where common sense comes in. You can be intentional and say, you know what, when I'm with my kids or when I'm with my friends or my bros or my family, we're going to sit down and watch a movie together. No phones, no nothing. We're going to eat, not use phones, and laugh and talk. You get? So I agree. There was that place, but now us challenging how people look at it is the issue.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's not like we're going to stop any new development or technology.
Yeah.
The question is how do we adjust and not lose ourselves in the process? That's what I think.
I think we're already adjusting. I think evolution affects us whether we like it or not. We find ourselves evolving. Even if we try, not necessarily fight, but you see that's still evolving. Because it's a new war, you're fighting new wars now. Like with the example you've just given. If way back, there was a time where our parents used to talk to one another through letters, listen to the radio, watch TV once in a while through the neighbor's window. You see, for them probably to interact with one another was not as hard as now, for sure, because there wasn't, as I said, there wasn't maybe the phone where you'd really get to see the whole world from that screen and, reduce how much you interact with people. But you see, the same parents are here with us now. And it will be very hard to go back to then. Because also, allow me to say, I hope we'll get the level of noise, in my perspective, has increased. If in those noise, in terms of, if in those days, the kind of noise you'd hear would be from people conversing from the radio. Now noise is everywhere, on the TV, on your phone, on someone else's phone. So on the same point, I think it's more of, as you said, as we evolve in psychology, we learned that human beings have the inherent ability to survive. So the reason we're even having this conversation is, okay, how do we now, as you said, adapt so that we're able to survive this, so that it doesn't exterminate us, probably? Because actually, I saw a research the other day on my Instagram, and BBC is doing a whole thing where they're studying children. So they're looking at kids and saying that the phone is tampering with the chemical system of the kids, the dopamine, and it's not good for them. In fact, some of the kids are slowly getting sick in terms of a kid is slow to speech, kids decision making ability iko impaired, haezi chagua kitu haraka. And I think I saw it just the other day. I was with my little cousin, and this game called Subway Surfers, where you get to move a guy, train. I realized he's making a decision after he's failed, and all the other kids his age are doing it right. And I asked myself what's happening, but I realized the screen time is crazy. So yeah, I think that's what I can share. I think this generational, as you said, the divide is also very heavily reliant on the fact that us consuming the phone is now a big thing. So I think also the phone is playing a big part in shaping also this generational divide.
To add on what Donnell has said on the phone, something that has struck my mind is the sharing of information. Knowledge has been so broad because of social media and the access that we have online, right? So we are able to pick up on things our parents picked up later on, or our grandparents didn't have knowledge on.
Yeah.
So we can learn of even toxic traits and be like, that's bad. It's not as if they taught us that.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
cognizant
Access, yeah.
because of the knowledge that we have consumed.
Yeah.
So that also plays a very big factor.
Yeah.
That knowledge is so diverse right now in our age.
Because of the phone. Can I add just a bit on that? I have this perspective.
Yeah.
I usually think there's a period where there's a certain generation that communicated and related
Yeah.
to each other more, and they related each other. There was a moral code that was very strong,
Yeah.
that someone would think it's written but it's not written, where if it's the elders, they knew at a certain time we have to sit together
Yeah.
and talk.
Yeah.
The women, tutaka pamoja, we talk. The children, we will talk with each other at a certain place. Then we go at 4 o'clock, meet the grandparents, give us stories. And with that, you find that our parents were really shaped, where you hear mtoto alikuwa wa kijiji anachapwa na kila mtu. Then it's like also them, they had their own revolt. They said, sitachapa mtoto wangu venye nilifanywa.
Yeah.
Man, the community was in my business like no one's. Like, why are they in my business? I'm going to make sure I'm not in anyone's business.
Yeah.
And you see, at that time, like now in my ushago, everyone is in everyone's business because hakuna kitu ya kufanya. Guys are so used to that kind of life. No one is ambitious enough to say, I'm going to be industrious, have a better life. It's like, may I have my kiosk, pale, I'm good. As long as I sell my milk and tea, I can be able to buy grains here and there. So you realize life is very slow. So you look at all these dynamics. You see, this generation, there's a way they were. Then our parents' generation, I think it was also in an age where the Western world began to have influence on Kenya, getting to watch movies, the American dream. So they're like, hey, wacha nitoke ushago, nitafute a better life. Now, to cut the whole long story short, our parents thinking about this American dream, having now us, where you find they didn't spend maybe time with us. So I think the divide comes where we're now getting exposed to so much information, and they're asking themselves, I didn't contribute to this guy having this information. And they're also trying to catch up with, okay, how can I even advise them when they can ask a lot of more questions.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring the ways they had in the past when interacting with our grandparents. And they're trying to, I think they're to some degree, I don't know if we'll censor this, but I think I need to say it, to some degree, let me say it in a better way, there's a level of confusion.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to understand, it's almost like we're in an adolescent era. An adolescent is a child, but having chemicals of an adult, So the child is just sitting, playing kidogo, they're feeling some part of their body move a certain way. They're like, what's going on?
Do you know, the direction you're going is actually where I really wanted to head.
Wow.
Where there's confusion, there must be conflict. There must be. Because I'm fighting for my own philosophy from us, we didn't do this. A Gen Z sees, I don't see a need to do this. You see, like, for example, there you said, there was, kulikuwa na time watu walikuwa na meet. Kuna time watu walikuwa nakaa pamoja. Saa hii, parent hata akikosana na mtu anaweza rusha mkono atoke aende. Na hakuna kitu tafanyika. You see? So to a degree, because it's like that philosophy is no longer strong anymore, you don't know how to handle rebellion. The parent doesn't know how to react when the child throws their hands and leave and bang and leave them there. Because for example, punishing them won't help them to understand what we lose when they do it. And I'd like Mark to speak on this because, like, one of the things that he said to me, and I thought, wow, this guy needs to be in this conversation because, like, firsthand, you've seen that kind of conflict arise, which also makes you confused. Because at the end of the day, like you're mentioning to me, you are working, delivering the same thing. It's like plain performance. Like we do the same thing. You do your work, you finish, but you find you're treated differently. Why? Because you're young. Because you don't have to move with pressure. Because you know how to do it maybe faster. And you're working with older people who believe in jittery, be quick, let the boss see you working. And at the end of the day, what is being looked at? It's a performance. So you do the same thing, you finish, but you're treated differently. They say maybe you're acting slow, like Gen Z. They don't like the idea because the boss is different, is older, and they feel like they judge you because you don't act in the same speed. But at the end of the day, it's the performance. Kindly tuchanue hiyo story, like venye, because unajua utatusaidia sana ku understand how people see it differently and they don't know, because I'm pretty sure if maybe the boss looks at it on a different perspective, like their generation is very different from ours, how we see things is very different, they would understand how you feel when they treat you like that. It makes sense. Maybe unaweza tupatie hiyo story fiti from the horse's mouth.
From where I can start is the system. System ya venye systems imechange. So ukiangalia system za au boomers, millennials, the baby imechange. So system kitambo ilikuwa primary, secondary, college, job. And that's how wasi wa kitambo wanafikiria like inafaa ikuwe
qualified.
Gen Z si tunafikiria ngati tukishafika form 4 kidogo mzazi umeingia forex, ashangaa bwana wewe kwa unataka kusoma, ile time atano umeshika dunda tajua like naona. So hapo kwa system, so what I can say ni when nilipata job, ukiingia job kuna hiyo system fulani ya job, na system ya job utapata.
First of all, hata before endelee, ulikuwa umesoma how many months?
Nilifanya short course, so nilifanya kitu kama 3 months short course. So nilikuwa najua job nenda kufanya, pia nikafanya field work.
Na wao walikuwa najua mtu anasoma 2 years, 4 years.
So when niliingia huko, ilikuwa system ilikuwa ni 8 hours. So unajua si kama Gen Z ni umepatiwa kazi na kazi yako unajua like have to remember like Mark sime example tu nikupanguza meza. Mark utapanguza meza. So unajua like chapanguza meza nafaa niende home. So utaka mkurealize kwa nini in this working in corporate places kuna system whereby msee mpya kama Gen Z akiingia atumia at first juu ajui venye system ina work. Hii system inaweza kuwa hii kazi unaweza fanya na 2 hours, but the moment utafanya na 2 hours utapata ngori kwa sababu pesa jajo mfanyaje kazi haraka kama like okay umefanya kazi hii kazi umemaliza na 2 hours na wasi anatokanga jioni, itakuwa umeenda kwa sababu pesa like nimemaliza kazi so si mimi niende cause huko tutokangi hizo masaa. Alafu the same hiyo sababu pesa anakuambia like haiendangi hivyo, like anakuchapia like utongoja hadi masaa ifike
atakaushamaliza
hadi like atakuongezea kazi. Lakini sasa kwa mawakasi wenzako kwa wakasi wenzako wenye ako the same age na supervisor atakuchapia like the system ya kazi na work ni utapata like wewe fanya kazi hizi time from this time to this time, fanya kazi like na pace fulani, ikifika time like masaa 7 hadi time zinakaribia kunini ndo unafanya kazi na haraka. So unashangalia kama si
so even
wanakuchanganya like supervisor anakupatia system so like kuna hiyo system inaita confusion from nini hizi generation zetu. Hatujazoea kwa hiyo system hivyo.
Unajua kenye nasikia na kenye unanishow hapo ni what I hear is you have the boldness to ask why do you have to stay for 8 hours if I can do the job in 3 hours? Because at the end of the day, are you paying me to sit here for 8 hours or to do a specific task? So you are coming with the mind of I've done this specific task. I am done for today. Why should I still stay here doing nothing while I could go and do something else? So hiyo inamake uncomfortable kwa sababu number 1, ideally hakuna mseshai challenge hiyo. Maybe wendo wa kwanza. Now actually the reason why I understand why Gen Z would do that because they don't fear asking questions. You know, the old folks never asked questions.
Yeah.
This they don't question. Actually, it was a thing. There's usiulize maswali mingi wataona ni kama utaki kufanya kazi. They used to have that fear.
Yeah.
And also I understand them because they were programmed through school.
Yeah.
Because you see, it's a disadvantage, that thing, if you think about it. Because when I limit you to a metric of you're either right or wrong, if you're in the middle, you don't belong. What do you expect from that person? Ako like, wacha nisiseme, ama sita belong.
Yeah.
And when you go actually like, wase wanakuwa silenced from the system itself. I remember there's a time my bro told me something. Alikuwa ananiambia akiwa chuo, alitengeneza formula ingine ya kupata the same answer na existing formula. Alirongia. So me in my head, this is what I'm thinking. Yeah. If I am in education, or the education system, or because ideally it's you studying the evolution of somebody's mind and all that.
Yeah.
If somebody has come up with a new formula that can come to the same solution as the other,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be wise for us to consider what this formula could do? Think about it. Alirongiwa kwa sababu alipata the correct answer with a different formula.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you question yourself, then what does the education system want from you? Does it want you to be right their way or right at all? Because if he was right, even with that formula, and he alifanya once, twice, na ina work, why wrong him? Unless you're following
A set standard.
like a one-sided way of looking at things. Then the older people are measuring effort in terms of how unachoka. Si really either una perform.
Because wao walizoea kuchoka.
Yeah. Sindio?
On the same, this is man, I'm really enjoying this conversation because of how real it's. So real.
Yeah.
You just reminded me, you took me back to the time I did my internship.
Yeah.
I won't lie, the whole of my college I used AI. But then when we did our practicals, or rather when we did our attachments, the what do you call them? Almost call them staff. Oh my God.
Fellow colleagues.
The colleagues. And I'm not used to that word. The colleagues. Manze, they used to bring people to me. They used to enjoy how I'm doing my thing. Sometimes I would listen to them. I'm like, according to what we studied, I don't think what you're practicing is actually that according to the ethics we were taught.
Yeah.
For example, counseling is not advice giving. You'd find a counselor giving advice to a young person. You realize, hey, this counselor has really been cultured that when if it's a young person, it's a problem of advice. You know, because they actually don't need, and they know, of course, their background is affecting them, but they're just finding themselves going to default setting, advice giving. So you've really taken me back, and you're actually right. I think our generation is actually having an upper hand. The fact that we are exposed to a lot of information. And there's something Marcus said, I'm just like, wow. He said, you go into a system, they haven't trained you how the system works. You come with your very, can I call it, not naive, but you're very
solution oriented.
How quickly can open, open. You're very open mind. You come there and you get discouraged very quickly because how you're doing things is different from them. But they are not also taking time to communicate on how it should be done. I carried some level of bitterness and anger for a long time, Didy. Let me be vulnerable for a while. Because I used to think, okay, between me and this person who's a generation ahead of me, who's lived more? Who knows better? Who should be ideally, who should be telling me how to conduct myself? Why are you angry at me? Like the example you gave, I don't know if you gave took your on camera of that Gen Z who alikuwa amechorwa job, then he did the email, this thing will not get me a car. And the guy,
Akasema, I'm out, peace.
I'm out, peace. And the HR is like, what kind of unprofessionalism? But why would you, okay, that wouldn't be the ideal example, but why would you be so pissed when you also haven't taken time to show me how you work?
Yeah.
So I carried bitterness for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think this conversation, of course, I don't want to go ahead of myself, but it would be so amazing if we end up also giving the young people the confidence that, imagine, sometimes it's not that you're wrong, but you also need wisdom.
Actually, ideally, the reason why we're exploring this is actually to show that the issue, the conflict, the confusion comes because we have not desired to understand where each and everyone has come from in terms of generation wise. Because once we understand, this is usually my thinking. Gen Zs right now, we're exposed, millennials and Gen Z, I'm a millennial. We're exposed to so much knowledge. The AI boom has come. Who's the most susceptible to actually benefit from it? It's actually us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
But we cannot lie to ourselves that we know everything. Because one thing I've realized is that you can have a lot of knowledge, but if you lack the understanding on how to apply and build something meaningful with it, you're just knowledgeable. And one thing we can say the older folks are actually good at, for example, for them, is they're good in building structures. They know loopholes. We don't. We're just coming with, I have an idea. You know what, we can fix this, we can fix this. It comes easy for us.
Which Didy, by the way, it comes with experience. I'm getting to learn there are things that just don't happen because you know. But because okay, you have the perfect plan. But remember, you're going to work with humans. All these humans have very different ways of thinking. Some of them, you're keeping them when you need to have disposed is such a heavy word, but you needed to have disposed them earlier. Some of them, you needed to have you disposed them, but you just needed to keep them for a little bit longer. So you realize, as you said, they've really gone through so much. Time has been able to expose them to different people, to themselves, and how they react to situations. And to be honest, that's something that can only be taught by someone walking with you and telling you, "Oh, that's a pothole. Don't step there. Be careful." But you see, you with your eyes, you can't see the pothole because they have a lens called experience that we don't have.
Which is something we would love to hear from them. But I think from them, what they're looking for is the old school response from young people, which came from people who do not know. Right now, you find like what you said, Gen Zs are more exposed to psychological knowledge to know that that is a bad pattern I won't follow. It's not because your mother told you or your father. You observed it and noticed the patterns and how it has affected in how you behave. So you desiring to change does not come from you needed to ask them for advice. So for them, they may interpret that you not wanting to ask for advice is you think you know it all. But you see now, our age, access to knowledge is like, you see, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, going to the library was a flex. For them, it was like, you know how many books I've read? So don't tell me, small boy, what you know. Calm down, let me teach you these things. You see, for them, it was a flex. Right now, I can do summary of 20 books in 20 minutes. All of a sudden, my reason of why to ask them to help me has already disappeared. Unless there's a relationship to allow me to share my perspective and then they correct it. Or vice versa. So you see, that thing has changed completely. So them, what they expect from us is, why don't you ask questions like that? We have the knowledge. What we need is more of frameworks. Okay, I have an idea. Please help me to build a framework that will work. You know, like it's more of, this is I usually say it in terms of, when you look at it in business, they are the ones with the capital. With the ones with the ideas. There still needs to be a relationship. Think about it.
There's a side of Gen Z we also, I think we can explore. I think we are also feel a generation, and I can can justify my point by saying, you see, the fact that the mobile phone is almost like our closest friend. We love dopamine. We love the feeling of getting to scroll and see something new, and the feeling it gives me, and so we haven't explored that side of Gen Z. Is very wide,
Yeah.
we haven't explored the younger ones in high school, and the fact that they want to feel good, just that feeling high kind of, our generation, because of the energy, they say the older generation says, well, they have too much energy,
Let me tell you something that usually shangazes me, that statement. So for them, they want us to have less energy for them to consider us. Does it mean, because when you say somebody has too energy, this is what I think. It's more of not too much energy. It is somebody who probably needs to channel.
That's the case. They say, in fact, how can they channel this energy a certain direction?
I'll tell you something about that, and maybe you guys can chip in and tell me what you think. You see, when we talk about something like desiring to feel, it usually comes from seeing somebody else express it or say it. But the way I usually tell you guys, like, this is how I usually define an emotion or a feeling. It's not based on how the dictionary has written it, because the dictionary struggles to express how the soul of a human being works. A feeling really is never really the main event. I usually use this example to describe an emotion. I want you to picture somebody with a metal crowbar, yeah? And then there's a stone, what do you call it? It's called a firestone floor. Naturally, if you hit that crowbar on the stone floor, they may come out a spark. Sindio? Or even chuma to another chuma. Kuna spark itatoka. Sindio? When you look at it like that, I usually use that as a metaphor to explain emotions. Why? Because if you picture the crowbar as knowledge, the stone floor as your soul, the spark is like the emotion. That's why emotions are usually unreliable, because it's just a spark. A spark doesn't last long. You get? So when somebody desires to feel something, the deeper question is, what information do you want in you then? When you look at it like that, I think for me, that's a very powerful way to describe emotion, which will question why every time you're looking or seeking to feel a certain type of way. Because most of the times, on a soulish level, when we feel we are not enough, we try to fill that gap with something else. You get? But notice the key word is?
We feel.
Feel. So what if we know? If you know you're enough, you won't look to feel enough. If you know I'm the one to do it, you won't wait for the feeling to be the one to do it. You get? And I think for me, let me tell you, this is how I think. If a generation depends on feeling, then if I was a bad person, what would I really look into investing in?
Into what generates that feeling.
Exactly. If you don't feel enough, I'll make sure I feed you with information that affirms what you tell yourself. That's why it's very hard to find positive people. Because what if that's the air that's in the iko kwa hewa? Because like even in marketing, if you're being honest, as business people, what do we look for? Because there's a term we use. We're looking for pain points. That's what we sell for. What are we studying?
Wow.
They are feeling. Tuna study umse ana feeling hivi akihivi. So tuna take advantage of that. There's interesting fact I saw, like food industry and makeup industry depends on women being sad. Serious. Now I can explain vizuri. The reason why is because, number one, when a woman is feeling sad, a high probability of them trying to look more beautiful to feel beautiful, or they'd buy a lot of food to stress eat, and they won't eat actually. Not all of them eat. Kuna mdema anaweza buy pizza, abai ma KFC, na zote ataonja piece moja na bado anotice high change venye ana feel. You see, that's somebody taking advantage of your insufficiency. What if just picture this like a hypothetical life. Imagine all women felt enough. Do you think there would be a need for doing too much? Or men feeling they respected themselves, that they don't need to buy respect by buying people stuff so that they can say, hey, Mdosi. If we were sufficient in ourselves, Huku, I'm not speaking like somebody who knows it all, but I'm just saying, now that we've established that that's a key thing that can determine how we feel about ourselves. If we fixed that, do you think we would look for a feeling outside ourselves?
Although it's not easy.
It's not easy, but I'm just saying, if you think about it as a possibility, it means then the reason why we are the way we are is because probably maybe we don't know enough about how to be the best version of ourselves. Silvia?
I mean, because we are constantly feeding from the, as you said, the same places that are telling us we're not enough.
We're not enough.
Like the girl child. It's something I've really taken time to notice. You realize whenever we go online, in fact, open a new Instagram page account, go to the search, the first thing you will see things like football. You will see a bit of food. Then you'll see also naked women.
Naked?
Yes, naked. I'm talking about bikinis and all that. So you find it brings what people like seeing. Like this is, you have a fresh account.
It's a need being met both sides.
Yeah, it's a fresh account, but because it's fresh, according to the geographical region you're in, these are the things that are interesting people the most. Now, if we come to girls, there's something I've studied.
Yeah.
If you go online, a lot of girls, when they're posing for photos, it's they can say it's very innocent because they copy. You know how, because you are online, I'll give you a famous one. When Instagram was new, a lot of ladies used to post and do their lips like this. You remember?
What's it called, man? Is it duck face? Huh?
What?
They used to be that thing.
They
Remember
do
it?
their lips like a duck.
They don't do, no one does that these days.
Anymore.
No, they still do.
They
Like
still?
It has become so normalized. Like, for example, if we are seated with my friends and then all of a sudden somebody removes the camera, the first response would be,
Yeah. So like, what's that? Where did
Lord help our
what's that?
generation.
Where did it come from? Yeah. So I noticed there are reels where maybe a lady is dancing, right, to a song, because now that's also a thing that was brought by TikTok, where there's a song, then it's playing, then you're mimicking it, then you're dancing. I realized a lot of these videos are aimed towards the lower side of these ladies, of their body. Even the posture is the lower side of the body, or she would turn a certain way so that a certain part of the body can be seen a certain way. And it's something I observed over time. And I said, okay.
Objectified.
Yeah, objectified. It's think about it, from what we've been presented on the TVs, the days where the pop culture, Chris Brown, were being shown a lot of thighs, evolving to these huge thighs are the thing, to the music videos, to all that. What happens to, there's a point I'm getting to, so I don't think you guys are ready. What happens to the ladies who have like flat bums and no thighs? So what happens right now, we are in Kenya, we're in the peak of something called plastic surgery. Right now, it's a thing. We're in the peak of BBL, which
God.
You guys, I know you didn't see me going there. We're in the peak. Remember the Mbavu Majembe. Remember there was that girl, It's My Body. You remember? Among all the things wangeleta kama advertisers, that girl stood out. It's my body. Come buy supplements. It tells you something. No one came and talked about how they're promoting their anything else, financial literacy class, or just another normal thing. They talk, that particular girl, with and all the trends the comedians are doing of dem anatembea akijishike hivi ama akilalia gari, but you can tell because of not being enough, it's being led to consumerism. As you said, the place of feeling has now been commercialized, has now been made a whole ecosystem. And when I was saying, Didi, it's hard, it's definitely hard because if already there are companies that are already monetizing heavily on the fact that they are capitalizing on the feeling aspect, there's a whole world, you like calling it the matrix, that has already been put there. So it means for you for you to be able to stand out, it would be very difficult because the day I want proper interactions with you, you will not be able to give me that because probably 70% of your day, you can say, even if it's a good thing, I'm studying. What are you using? The digital space. I'm doing a course, digital space, or I'm DMing, I believe there are guys who live in the comment section. I believe their interaction ended with humans.
I agree, baby. Kwanza nilisha mimi najiangaliangi comments.
Uangaliangi.
Bro yangu ndo
The
alifanya nianze
the best part
Mimi
of
nikiona
any
tu video
video
ishe,
is
shwa.
the comment section. Oh my god.
But you see, you said something there which connects with how now you can think how the Gen X and the Dini don't understand the battle also Gen Zs are fighting. I don't know who said this, but alikuwa anasema alisema like on a light note, alisema unadhani Prophet Elijah alikuwa na pressure ya OnlyFans. Ati anaingia tu hivi kutafuta encouraging scripture. Acha nikushow, mimi nishaipata video fulani. Acha nikushow, ulisema tu ni thank God hivi. So hiyo video imeanza. Nilikuwa nadhani huyu dema anaenda kupika. Unajua mimi hupenda hizo video za kupika, hizo process. Kumbe video inaishow dema kufungua kabati uone tu haga yake kufanya hivi. Click page yake yote inafungua kabati.
Right? I mean, that's what I was talking about just now.
So you know the people can show you like ati ameenda kuchukua chumvi, so mimi nadhani video inaanza hivi, maybe ni cooking video. Alifungua tu hivi, after kubanga ikabounce, video ikaishia hapo.
But in a way, na feel venye vimesema nyota vile, na mostly Vedona ameongea, what I felt ni vya kana sema mambo ya kitambo hiyo jamii kukaa pamoja. The ladies wana learn things za ladies, wanaume learn nini. So kuna kitu Donela amesema. Why ladies wanafanyanga hiyo mguu. I think hii nini the digital space limekuwa kama sa jamii whereby people learn these things. Like men learn like bavu unekewa mae DM anaona haga anaona hizo body so this in the place imekam.
Yani kali.
In fact, you know what for the men are? Men do not feel they have any value to give unless they have monetary, unless they have money.
Which is
and it's reached to us, Didi. Trust me, subconsciously. You know, thinking about a lady being naked, we are there like, this is evil. But think about it. Us thinking that we're having money, why are we not thinking that is also a problem?
It is actually. It's because, do you know why I like what you've brought up? It's because it's the one that's not talked about. Because this is usually something I usually say. We usually say, we care for all. But I assure you, if we really did research, both genders have issues. But you see, the ones that usually glorified or let's try and fix is usually the...
Yes.
The other day, I know this is a little bit off topic, it shocked me. You would expect, based on what you've been taught in schools or news or what, that GBV is usually a female thing. So, do you know in the 1940s, a British lady studied GBV and her statistics were it was 50-50 even in the 1940s.
What? Meaning women contributed
it
as
was
much.
There.
But look at the circumstance that was there. 1940, Second World War.
Think
the men were out there.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, look how the message came out. All my life, by the me being honest, I always knew GBV is usually for who? Why? Why is it like that? Because that's what it's all been talked about. That lady, she came out with I'll even look for the video. I'll add it on the video so that people see. She said the person who was working under her is the one who turned it around. she even has a Nobel Peace Prize in UK. She said she found out that the lady who was working under her had started her own female movement under. And she said sasa ni kwamba naambiwa ati dame alienda kubreed hate kwa madem ndo because wali notice tukisema men ndo anatuumiza tutapata domob. Umeget, one had to be the evil one. So that's what she did. So mother anasema say she's old, she's saying that it really hurt her because when she started it, her vision was gender-based violence was for all. Right now, she knows many men who have committed suicide and all these things. So she's now speaking now, retrospect now, saying...
You have like a source for that?
Yeah, it's a documentary actually. UK, she's a very big lady. She said that thing pained her. I've always thought about doing a documentary about it because it really shitward me for all my life. Ukitaja GVB, mi najuangania madem. Ni madem ndo. Because like never has it been what do you call it, sensitized that also men go through it. Why? Because also society, when a man goes through something, it's funny. When a woman goes through something, let's go to the streets. You get? Do you remember the guy ule mjamwanyeri alikatoga private class? It was a joke. It was a joke. Ni wapi ilifika watu wakagoma?
It was a joke.
It was a joke. Ai mwanaume gani? Mpaka nakumbuka ilikuwa ka story ya wewe ni Wanyeri. Wanaume Wanyeri. It was a joke. Ule dem mwenye alikatwa kichwa. Si watu waligoma tao wamezunguka. You see how there's an imbalance. Why? Because no information venye ilikuwa inakuja. Even sisi wenyewe, me being a man, I didn't know. So it shakes you.
Yeah.
So you see what you're saying, it's true.
Yeah.
Because now you try tell a man that you don't have to have money to be valuable. Ako like uongo wa nini? You as a man don't unazaliwa ngili hata before meno ya kwanza ijatoka. Tayari hadi shusho yako ashaanza kusema huyu ndiye ataangalia familia yetu. What does that boy know? Hata na meno. Anazaliwa akijua maisha yangu si yangu ni ya watu. You get? And I grow. And this is what I think. And I think nilikwambia Donnell. I think the reason why is men they reach a certain age, especially 40, 45, most of them, they throw their hands and leave their families. Or they do, because not all of them, there are those who vumilia, even though they know it's bullshit. They know. There are those who vumilia. But kuna wengine wanarusha mkono wako like, you know what? All my life, nimeambiwa, it's who anyone who comes to my life, I have to. It's not a if. I'm pretty sure you felt it in your situation. Unapata tu kwa manze, I have to. Who said? Why? You'd be shocked even in history. It was a lie. Your responsibility was for your own. You see, it was propagated to destroy you because you can never help a whole nation alone. So it's twisted Jamii story. The way you're saying, it's twisted. But you see, the reason why you feel like we don't know is because it's not talked about.
It's not talked about.
It's not talked about. So you think like, it's only ladies who understand this pressure.
Yeah.
But statistics speak otherwise. Most men die in their 40s because...
Depression.
Exactly. Who can they talk to? Because when they talk, it looks weakness. Even their own wives, bro. If you're being honest. So society... So what is happening now... showing the difference of generations is then, for example, I'll give you an example. Now, even exposing the two things you mentioned. Then, when you mesema, kulikuwa na jamii. Then, kulikuwa na brotherhood. You get? Like it was a system of men, a system of ladies. That's why the information was inherited. Ladies, we behave like this because if we lose our dignity, we lose our respect. If we lose our modesty, we lose our respect. You see, men, if you cannot stand up and fight for your own. Fighting didn't only mean that going to war. No, actually going hunting, they were going all together. It was a brotherhood thing, actually. It's not a one-man thing like we do these days. You get? So all those things disappeared. Disappeared why? Because now this is where we ask now the hardest question. Then who benefits when the culture is like this? Who benefits when the simplest core of life, family, is destroyed? Because family didn't start being destroyed when social media came. Statistics say it started during war. The propaganda started during war. When men were in war fighting, they were being told this side, you know what? You can be your own You see you're working, you see you're putting bullets, why go home and stay at home? And the one saying that wants to do it, wants to tax both of them. So who benefits when both of you are in conflict? Who benefits from your insecurity? Who benefits even right now? Right now, for example, because when I think about it, we'll have a crisis if we don't fix the divide. Why? The older generation have capital. Where will they invest if they cannot agree with young people?
Yeah.
The young people have ideas. Who will be the investor who invest in them if there's a wrong picture of how Gen Zs think? Because not all of them are bad.
Yes.
You gave me a scenario today, yesterday actually. You said you know how to work with older people. You're a Gen Z, yeah? But it's not like you don't see the wrong treatment that is there. What you've done is you know how to adapt to stay around them. What about those who don't? Because ideally, even where you are in, it doesn't mean you don't see that it's not good. You get? You probably have the emotional intelligence to handle it. Be resourceful and get out when you're not needed. You get? But is that ideal? Because if we want to have a place where we can actually share my mind with an older person and let them not make me feel like you think you know. Because you know you can tell it even in the air. They don't have to say it to their mouth.
Yeah.
You get? There's a day Apostle Charles said something interesting. He said that this generation needs fathers. And when he said fathers, he wasn't saying like in a biological sense. He was saying in the sense that a father is the only person who genuinely, the person who has the spirit of a father, not biological. Because there are also biological ones who failed miserably their families. The spirit of a father is in the sense that you feel no shame in guiding a skill you don't have. You know, like, this guy he's really good. Me, I don't have the strength. Maybe I'm not a good speaker. It's like, you know what? I know how to help you. Because that's what a father would do. And it hit me that is the thing that these Gen Zs are looking for. And they don't find it, they rebel. And the rebellion is not coming from, we hate you. It's because you're not listening to us.
Exactly.
You know, just listen where I'm standing. Yeah, you want to say something? Yeah.
Yes. In the aspect of what you've talked about.
Yeah.
I believe as much as we are evolving, the parents, the fathers and the mothers that need to grow, need to also evolve with us.
Exactly.
As you've said, as a Gen Z, I want to have somebody I can go, tell them about how I am, how I'm feeling, without feeling demeaned, like sasa hii ni nini, hii ni utoto, ama usijali, you'll get over it, ama kuna venye njia inaendanga, kuna venye inafanywa. But then also my perspective has shifted because of the shifted times. Some of the things that applied in their time, I can't disband all the principles that work in them. They still apply. As the good book says, there's nothing new under the sun, right? So there are some things that worked for them, but then also there are some things that are evolving with us that I had to adjust to as I'm growing. For example, as you talked about when we were starting the podcast, I have to grow with social media. Then they didn't have to do that. My work has to be seen on social media as I'm evolving, as I'm growing. So that people out there can know, oh, she's talented in this, she's good at that, so that I can get the opportunities. Then they didn't have to do that. They just built in secret and we saw the glory out later on and the money they got and the networks. As the Bible says, children don't obey your fathers and mothers. But then the Bible also says that parents do not lead your child into anger. And how do you do that? You evolve. You evolve with your child. Parenting styles cannot be the same like how they were parented. No.
That's a whole...
Education system cannot work like how they worked. There are some skills that we need right now. Financial literacy. We can't disperse.
And it's not taught in school.
And it's not taught in school. Now they are trying to do it with CBC, that I know for sure. Now they are trying to do
financial literacy.
Yes.
Okay.
They started, I don't know if it has been successful, but they started it in CBC. There are some things that worked for them that can't work for us right now.
True.
For example, taking time to, like wao walikuwa nafanya unangoja unamaliza form 4, form 6, unaingia university. Hiyo saa ndio social media ilikuwa inaanza, ndio unaanza kulearn Microsoft Word, PowerPoints. As early as you can think.
Yeah.
Be computer literate.
Yeah.
Be I think IE AI be AI literate, you know?
Yeah.
So I think also for those fathers and mothers that are growing with us, they also need to grow.
It's true.
With
It's
us.
true.
Yeah.
I'll say this to emphasize on that. I want you to think about how it is hard to communicate with somebody who does not know your field. Why is it hard? You're not on the same wavelength. You'll feel like you're teaching them from zero. That also could be an issue that is affecting how you relate when you're trying to say, you know, there's this new thing in AI.
Yeah.
Let's say if you could invest in it so that we can do this. Like, hey, nini mambo ya internet.
But
you
I
know?
think
Yeah.
it's not a must we evolve now. What I think the older generation is doing, they how to accept venye tuko. Kuna hiyo ku accept. You know, okay, let me give you an example whereby you're a firstborn, yeah? And maybe I'm your brother and I'm a lastborn in our family. So zile vitu tutapitia kama firstborn si vitu mimi nitapitia.
True.
Na wewe kuni accept juu sijapitia hizo zitafaa si tu work out. Si lazima kwa field yangu utakuwa like mark mambo yako ni inawakingi tu rahisi. Wewe ungejua mimi nilipitia. So hapo ndo vita inatokea. So it's not a matter of when do some when you accept whereby mimi na learn hizi stuff. We accept mimi niko. I think your acceptance ndo pia in a way I work
Ni
out.
ukweli cause like umefanya nikashikanisha kitu. Sometimes the older folks teach from trauma.
Yeah.
And when you don't have to go through the trauma, they feel like you're not worth the reward.
Yeah.
Mbona yako ni rahisi. It could be an inner bitterness in them and we don't know. You get? Because sometimes if you look at the most mundane way a human being would behave when you think you've done the same and somebody gets it easy, be like, ai, mbona iko hivyo? But unajua hiyo pia imetoka kwa shule. Ulikuwa mnapimwa na line moja. Mtu akishinda, akimake it in life na line yenye hamkufunzwa shule utafeel au mse ameibia. But I think ni ukweli. Ni ukweli because if I have this notion that in order to be successful, because I think that's what the older generation believed, especially when it comes to education, I have to go to school, finish school, get my certificate, get my brown bahasha, tamak around town looking for jobs until my shoes are bent one side, you know. I need to, lazima nifilie uchungu, ndio nikipata hiyo job ni appreciate. Because actually
that's how the system worked
for
them.
them, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not wrong because that's what they got.
That was their truth.
Yeah, that was their
Right now
truth.
it is
that
not.
Now it's not our truth. You can find somebody who's in campus, they're studying, but they're still working.
Yep.
Because that's now our truth now.
Something crazy. Social media. Somebody does something dumb. It trends. They get a deal. They make 2 million a month. And then try to tell that child, he's 17, 18, go back to school.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Khabib. He's a billionaire. Who? Khabib, the guy who does this. Khabib, the guy
one
who
who
does.
sold
Oh,
his-
Khabilem.
Yeah.
He's not called Khabib. He's called
Kabilem.
Khabilem.
Yeah.
But there's
Khabib
a
ni ule wa UFC.
boxing.
Yeah.
but then there's I think he's
Anaitwa Khabib. Ule wa
Khabile.
Yeah, well,
Hello,
why
TikTok,
is it-
yeah.
I've had people calling him Khabib.
walai.
Anyway,
Think about that.
Yeah.
Try to tell that guy go back to school. No. Make it make sense.
or tell someone.
Do you know even
who's
if he
seen
went
him.
to school, hakuna job ataandikwa atamekio do msana make
Actually, he was a factory worker before he started.
in
Look
Italy.
at that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm listening to this conversation, and it's really opening my eyes to guy. No wonder we are doing this now. I think it's about time. I think these conversations, what it will do to us, I think Didy, it will radicalize us. Let me tell you why. I really believe it allows you to see the truth for what it is.
Yeah.
You guys are talking and I'm thinking about, wow, look at how culture shaped nations. Culture was such a big part of nations.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking, you said, who are benefiting? I thought of consumerism. I thought of how humans have become greedy, how there are people on the top who are gaining. And guess what? They're even driving cultures. And I'm like, okay, I know someone might listen to this as we understand what we're talking about here. There's someone who's like, okay, what is he saying?
Yeah.
But allow it to be my parting shot. So they because of the greed, they drive billions of money to them. They use this to drive culture. I mean, I'll just give one example just for the audience to relate, but for you guys, look at how the world works. The world has so much resources that can benefit humans, so many people, all rounded. But look, a country like India, big population, taking children, women, men to the mines. Congo, right? What are they doing? Looking for material that will be used, probably, let's talk about the phone, to build the phones. These phones are sold for a lot of money. Guess what? The money is going to go to endorse football. Suddenly, footballers are getting overpaid, in my opinion. When that money can feed how many families? Guess where the footballers are taking the money? To the gold watches, to the things that belong to the people.
So it's like a spider web
Exactly.
that still goes to the middle,
Exactly.
and it's quiet.
Yeah,
The middle is quiet,
very
but
quiet.
the ones who own it stretches all
Exactly.
the way wide. Yeah.
And then they're promoting something that is almost impossible. This idea that if I live like this, I will get there. But you don't understand. They got there, got puppeted so that you can have that chase. Then that's why they even call it the rat race. But I'm thinking, oh my God, all the principles of the Bible now make sense. You're talking about, you said something that pissed me off a little bit. You said, parents should do this. And I'm like, wait, they don't know. You're talking about how parents should communicate.
Evolve.
There's something you say, evolve. Yeah, that's what she actually said.
Yeah.
Parents should evolve. I got a little bit angry. I said, they can't. They don't know. Oh, young people should, because I know we'll have a sitting with the older. Can we stop having the conversations of young people should? It's been there for too long. They
Since I
should.
was born, bro.
Yeah, not sleep, not have, Young people should not have sex. Older people are not listening.
And there's no the key question is not being asked. Why should they stop?
Why should they stop?
Because that meaning is what they'll fight for. Okay, why should all people evolve? Because you see, that why benefits them by them understanding, not even us really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense to me why we're here today. I really believe us coming out of our cocoons like now, whatever we're doing, if we do it with a lot of intentionality and with a lot of passion, with an open mind, Didy will find ourselves in schools. We'll find ourselves with a following of both young and the old. I really don't think what we are doing right here is basic, because to some degree it's the gospel.
It is.
Because out of this conversation, Mark said something, and I thought, oh my God, what will solve this is love. If the older generation loves the younger generation, and the younger generation loves the older generation, the older generation will want to pass down. The younger generation will want to take care of the older generation.
The legacy.
Yeah. You will not look at your parent with bitterness anymore. You'll say, you know what, you tried with what you had. In fact, I pity you that you didn't have the knowledge that I have. And the fact that you didn't have that knowledge, it is okay, I have it. I will go through whatever, but I will take care of you. The older will say, you'll have to forgive me for not, but I want to show you the love that I have for you, younger generation. And hence, I will even give grace. And you see, because of love, what happens? An understanding. Tell me this, Didy. If we don't do it here, where else? And then, light is light. Truth is truth. If we do it, you're telling me it won't have an impact?
It must.
So I really think whatever we're doing here, if there's someone, and I'll be honest, who tries to really, like them was saying, the good book, just be in the central to meet everyone, it's me. But I'm thinking, wait a minute. Before you know it, Didy, this word will make sense to a lot of people. Because there's a way you present it, and someone is like, it makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
The word makes sense. The word is the place where guys will find refuge.
And understand.
The word is where people will find hope, where culture will change. So I'm trying to imagine, Didi, the few of us, think about it. Generational divide, bring a few principles of love here and there. What happens? You connect with these people. Wouldn't you even scale in the marketplace?
You said something which I think I don't want us to pass. You've said, what if the older generation loves the young? What if the young loves the older generation? But we cannot assume they really comprehend what love it means. Because for
Exactly.
most people, they perceive love as affection.
Yes.
Affection is a feeling that doesn't last.
Yeah.
It's not reliable. But when you express it in terms of what the scripture says, love means the ability to choose. According to 1 Corinthians 13, where Paul is describing the different attributes of love, you see,
It's patient, it's kind.
those are choices.
Yeah.
For you to be patient with somebody is you choose
Wow.
to be patient.
Oh my God.
For you to be
And it
to-
says that is love?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a choice. And you've expressed it very well. For example, they've said that you see, for example, your parents have failed you. But love chooses to understand why.
Love chooses to long suffer.
Exactly.
Because it says love is patient, love is
Yeah.
kind.
It's long suffering.
It's long suffering.
Does not keep record
Does
of
not.
wrong.
Wow.
So it's like you.
Oh my days.
You look at it in the sense that, okay, yeah, we see.
Yeah.
You know you have failed, definitely, but it's not like we are pointing the finger. We're trying to understand why so that we don't.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get?
Back to Gen Zs and Mandamano.
Yeah.
Even my sister, Mavo, and our brother who's not here, Linford.
Yeah.
God, that was a bad joke. He's with us here on earth. Get it?
It was a joke.
You know what does that statement?
Oh,
Who's not here?
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
going to be
oh,
with baby? Anyway,
yeah.
Love is patient, love is kind, love is this, love is that. It's a very, whatever I'm about to say is a very hard thing.
Yeah.
The same way I'm about to bet when you talked about the feminine thing, it's going to attract comments. If we were actually to leave out an embedded culture from the word, we would treat the political system right now differently.
True.
In what way? I'm not
Comment,
saying
comment. Ataisema tu.
I'm not
Continue.
saying be in a place of you're like, let them have their way. No,
That's not what love means.
no, that's not what love means. But it is expressing that truth and that light so well, so much so that it ends up bringing healing and bringing things to your favor. I'll finish by saying this. One time in Babylon, Daniel was faithful. He did things very well, better than majority of the other king's men, king's fellows, king's council. And they decided, hey, how can we finish this guy? They said, okay, let's manipulate the king to decide to thinking that he's a god, and we get a day for him to be worshipped. And they did so. They said that's how we'll finish Daniel, because we've looked for many ways and we haven't found.
And they used the one thing he does so well.
Exactly.
Prayer. So even your strength can be used as your weakness.
Exactly. So before that's very deep. Before I forget my point, the point I'm landing. Wow, that's very profound. Wow, I've never thought about it like that.
Usipoteze point yako.
Kidogo nipeleke off, but in fact hata nikaa nimeenda off. But this guy, he goes prays, and the king says, I'm sorry, but I'm a king, I decreed, and according to the decree, you'll have to be served punishment. He went to be eaten by lions, and he wasn't eaten by lions. The king said the God of Daniel will be worshipped. Aside from that, the ones who were eaten by the lions were the
ones who
men
orchestrated the plan.
who plotted. Think about it this way. What if how we're responding towards our current government is like holding a knife pressing it, not knowing that the more you press it, it's cutting you, thinking that when you press it, you're going to destroy it or you're going to bend it. But you're pressing it and it's cutting you because of the frustration and the pain, and it's cutting you. You listen to the basis of the thing you're chanting. You ask yourself, okay, what really carries this basis? Think about it.
Is it a shared belief?
Exactly.
Or the one who started it was believing on something else?
I think, Didi, there's a thing I'm so looking forward for us to covering that you mentioned, the systems. Think about it. But this is my opinion, okay? And I'm saying it from a place of not ignorance, out of love. Whoever will comment, let them comment. But I think it has some sense. Think about it. We're saying our current president to go, okay? Okay. In his whatever, what do you call it, political class, or rather the guys who are the ruling party, the people in governance right now, then who fits to sit on that seat really? Okay,
That's a very hard question.
yeah, because have we been developed enough to be able to even govern? And the ones you're thinking, because I can't
But it shows
mention
the
them.
divide, by the way.
Exactly.
It shows you a divide, because if somebody was nurtured,
Yes.
somebody was alitembea na
Yes.
the previous regime,
Yes.
they would have the required muscle
Exactly.
to say, you know what, now it's time for you guys to go. The question is, the biggest question right now is, okay, who?
Now,
You get?
our
Because I think
generation,
for Gen Zs, we know
our
they
generation
don't-
has. In fact, we have
Yeah.
two candidates who've been singing their names, and they're all in the opposition. You know,
Yeah.
we know them. I'll mention them, but you'll have to remove them.
Don't mention them.
Okay, but we know them. Now, I'll ask a question. For those two people to be able to survive
And work together.
to now, to just survive, to survive in the war, in the political culture we have, you think they didn't compromise? You think for them to sit there, they're like, oh, I'm religious. No, for you even to be accepted to a party, you have to be accepted because you're ready to abide
On
to
their culture.
on their culture. I won't talk
But
a
you know,
lot.
it's hard. Let me tell you, especially when you go in that field, it's hard to talk about. This is my thinking. We have seen it long enough.
Oh my God, I was going to say that.
Like, we have seen it long enough for us trying to change from outside.
Yeah.
Oh, that one should come out, that one should come in. My thinking is this. Right now, with even what we are doing, I think the more people ask the hard questions,
Yeah.
they will come to the solution.
Yes.
But there's never been a space where you do so.
This is a
You
space
get,
now.
you know the way, why?
Karibu.
Like, why? Why do we still keep doing this? Does it pain us enough to want change, for example? Because if we don't have those spaces, because, okay, I don't think you could say that maybe on our traditional TV stations, there's the opportunity to say, why really?
I mean, you were there the other day.
You get?
Did you get that opportunity?
Yes. You see now.
Honestly.
But not that I'm throwing shade, but it's just the system.
Yeah.
But I want us to ask the question from a place of personally. Because if there's one thing that worked long time ago was communities. Right now, our communities are digital. But the issue is not even whether it's digital or physical, is do we share a reasonable, healthy culture?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because this is my thinking.
That's amazing.
We could know
Yeah.
and be quiet,
Yes.
not do a podcast, not speak about and maybe look for like-minded people.
Yeah.
But you forget one thing. Who do you think would be your friends of your children? If not the people who are lost out there.
Wow.
Do you think you'll control your child who will be their friends? Do you think so? Number two, even right now, how much influence do you have over social media to say that from today, I have said it where I sit, that no negative videos will come in my child's phone? Do you have that power?
No.
So then the best thing to protect your children is through understanding. Teaching them to ask why. Seek the understanding. For example, they are saying that the way you're saying that why were Gen Zs being told not to do something, or why was the culture telling children not to do something? If the why was given, that is the most safest form of protection than trying to bring fear. If you do it, I'll chase you, or if you did this and that. So like building up on that, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have more of these conversations. Because I had the feeling feeling that this may go even into 3 parts. Because there's a point I reached in my research. I was like, you know what, we've asked the hard questions, but we still want to bring the older generation and the young. Let them discuss. Let them speak what they feel is different between both. Let us see it from outside. Let us see if it's communication or if it's what's really the issue. Let us see it from outside. We will sit on that chair, look at them, discuss, and then we judge at the end. Not from a place of you are right, you are wrong. Exposing why there is that conflict, why there's that tension, aggression. Because it's there. It's there. My bro told me yesterday he saw a comment, a quote, somebody say, have you ever asked why this generation is cutting off their parents? Do you know how painful that is if you think about it? We're saying the next generation, there will be no family.
I mean, how many young girls are saying, and me, I'm still thinking it's a joke, me don't to get married.
Or
Don't
or
get
even
kids.
men.
Yeah.
I don't children.
So families disappears. What is a society?
Without family, honestly.
A society is a combination of families that share beliefs and systems that allows them to grow and evolve. That is vanishing. And we need to be, and this is my thinking, we need to really question it and desire to see it from a sober level. No biases, because like, I'll tell you, sometimes people can think, people of church just promote marriage because it is God. We want them to understand. Or people, because there's that perspective. I tell you,
And
if you meet
actually,
somebody
if
outside there,
it's just that we have a different perception to life because of the exposure that we have in our location. But there are people who don't have that. So such a narrative of, I don't want children, I don't want to get married, is not because it is bad per se.
But that's
it's
their
because
biggest
that's
perspective.
what they have seen has failed them. What is failing
Didy,
now.
You've made me think about something I haven't never contemplated. And by the way, I had my parting shot. Then I'll be quiet.
Nobody's
I've not thought of it, but I'm seeing it as a possibility. There might be a possibility, the same way there was feminism being whatever, all these things happening. There might be a possibility. There's a time coming, a good chunk of people will not marry because of what movies, the culture, the music is displaying. Not to become
Plus also the consequences. Yes, it's been influenced a lot by what we see, but also what they have experienced.
and not because all those things, of course.
Yes,
for example,
yes.
trauma is louder than advice, bro.
And all those things, and not for the sake of this, not because these people want to be to like the opposite sex. I mean the same sex. No. But because just people want to be single. A lifestyle which is being promoted that, you know what, be single, satisfy yourself sexually. I mean, I think Didy, the world is preparing for that with all the
it kill at the end of the day? Family.
all the sex toys coming up. That a girl is saying, hey, me, I'm okay, I have my sex toy. I have a whatever.
A what?
And saying,
Oh, please cut that part
No
out.
way. What is a rose?
and saying it very confidently, and men being whatever to sex toys.
And imagine it's just understanding.
Yeah.
Like if people had the opportunity to ask and not feel ashamed. And because like I pray, God help us, this be that place where people feel like we are trying to find a solution. They don't feel ashamed to want to ask that questions. Even in the comments. Let people right, we will find a way to find a solution. Because giving up and throwing our hands, knowing what we know, would actually be so bad. And
sorry, how many people not even knowing slightly, don't even know. There's the difference between I know about what there's, I have an idea, and I actually don't have an idea. If I sat around you guys, my life will definitely be better. I hope you haven't lost your train of thought.
No. You see, like my idea or my mind with EMP is that we ask it. Let's just ask. Let's not fear not knowing the answer, because you see that's also a trauma from school. Not knowing the answer means you failed. In life, no, because you asking the question over and over, you may bump into somebody who has an answer.
So I think the question we need to answer is, why do you need a family? Yeah, and why don't you need a family?
And why don't you?
Why don't you?
That's a
I like
good
that. I
conversation.
think that's
that's a
we
good
will
place
build
to
on
start.
that maybe on another time, because so that we don't lose the train of thought.
Mm.
Now we want to finish because we know we can because we'll do a couple of 2 sessions.
Yeah.
We want to be able to discuss even afterwards, and also bring a psychologist or can I say a thought leader who can actually help us address this in a wise way, in a way that caters for all, and so that we can really come up to that understanding and at least feel safe that there's a place where we can find answers. So I want to finish with something based on our conversation, and I feel it's poor. It's poor. It's good. It's good. I read it out, and I think as you chill at home, after you think about this, you will really have at least a foundation of understanding as to why the generations are struggling to coexist. I saw something interesting. All the 3 generations have different operating systems. I like that statement. Boomers and Gen X, they believed in stability, structure, and survival. You get? The millennials believed in transition and adaptation. Why? Because for them, a new wave came of internet and mobile phones. They had to adapt, but they had time. You get? You see, Gen X and millennials, they had time to adapt. Why? Their evolution was like in 5 to 10 years. In Gen Z's, it's in 2 weeks, a month. There's evolution. Gen Z's, for them, the operating system is speed, expression, disruption. Now I want you to think about it very keenly. And you tell me, if somebody who believes in stability, structure, and survival can coexist with somebody who believes in speed, expression, and disruption, if they don't understand each other. If they don't take the opportunity to observe why we are different. Millennials end up being quiet in the middle. Because even them, they are confused. Should we do? Because we've seen this work. These guys are expressing and I see. I like it. Not ignoring that there's also those negative PR, negative behaviors from both. No generation is innocent in their own way.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, us being very much aware that that is a possibility helps us reduce how we address this issue, how we try to reduce the degree of confusion. If it was at 80%, can we take it to 75 with a simple understanding in observation or maybe our psychological patterns or the philosophy in which people live with? You get? Another thing was, you see, in our generation right now, the speed of change is electric. Me, I'll tell you, even from where I sit, I wake up in the morning, I find a new AI adaptation which you should consider, and I'm in the middle of another AI course. So I'm confused. I go even ask ChatGPT, so I've seen this course and there's this one I'm doing. How do they relate? So that it can help me not feel like I'm being left out. You get? So previous generations evolved. Ours is being forced to adapt instantly. There'll always be shock. This is a new generation. They're trying to find themselves. Their identity is attached to social media. The culture in social media is demanding them to lose themselves to gain. And then you still want them to be perfect. Because nyinyi mko na knowledge mingi kushinda enzi yetu. It's impossible. It's hard to achieve that. Education system. The old education system required right or wrong answers. Now you're finding people asking questions that don't have right or wrong answers. It's more of, how does this understanding help me if I believe like this? How? You get? Because right or wrong is always dependent on culture. Another culture believes in abortion. Mine doesn't. That is murder, for example. You get? Because life starts when, because I like something to Mirayomi said. The reason why he disagrees with abortion is because God gave you purpose even before you were in your womb. So by the time you're conceived, that is a life with purpose that you've killed, that you've umemnyima opportunity ya kuishi. You see those, but you see what another culture is like, that is right. So right or wrong doesn't suit. And I agree, because also Christ does not believe in right or wrong. And that's why people contradict. Even when they read the scriptures, they contradict. Hey, God, no, because God to me metric right or wrong. You get? Another thing I'd say is the older generation believed in work hard, effort, time. I have to spend 15 hours to look hardworking. Gen Z is like, if I can do it in 2, why don't I? And I can have the rest of my day. And you're working for a boomer, they'll be like, no, you have to stay here until 5 in the evening, and you finished your job by 10. So you feel wasted. You won't finish 2 months there or 3 months, and you want to buy a car, and you're 19, so that you can post. You know, social media. The old generation built identity in private. Our society demands us to be seen as we grow. We are the first generation to perform identity, to find our identity while still discovering it. That is hard. You don't know. You have to pretend like you know so that you can get the job, so that they can consider you because they saw you posting. You get? It's hard. So the guy is confused. He's in the middle of a fence that doesn't know where you can come out of, because they need to leave. Their parents are looking at them to look somesha. You need to be something. Ideally, it is not age. It is unexamined assumption. Every generation believes my way is normal, and they'll fight for that truth because they see no other way. The danger is not that we are different. The danger is we are not asking why we are different, and that affects us. So, yeah, that's ideally, can I say, the foundation of this discussion. I like how we've seen different ways on how this thing has affected us. We've even gone deeper than I expected when we are looking at how feeling affects our response to feeling, and even understanding the definition of emotions. It means then the information our parents had, they felt less than what we are exposed to every day. Because if information that determines how you feel, the dopamine, they were dependent on information in books. You are getting information left, right, center. Ukitoka sahi upande mat kuna radio wase wanaongea. Watu ujaribu nini bado itakuingia. You'll feel disturbed, or you'll feel like you enjoy what you're listening to. You see, all these are areas that influences how we respond to things. So now us being aware of that helps us start this journey of how can we fix this in order to have a healthy coexisting generation between the two. So thank you guys for coming, and I'm pretty sure you'll see them a lot in different conversations because I trust their perspective, and I've really enjoyed talking with them. Time actually is the issue because you could have talked all day because there's a lot we want to ask. I usually say that Gen Zs are the people with the most questions. Sorry. Gen Z. I think there's millennials and Gen Z are the people with the most questions. Hey.
I think you need some water.
Please do give me some water. No battery naisha.
What's questions?
I believe Gen Zs have the most questions and very few answers that can really give them peace.